So today guys, I'm going to show how I turn this IKEA unit into this. So I've been seeing a lot of people online doing these IKEA units for plants and doing like little tropical jungles in a box. So that's where this inspiration has come from. So I started with this IKEA roadstay unit, which cost me €150. So the unit itself comes with 2 glass shelves. So the first shelf I used on the bottom to keep the substrate off the metal sheet below, and the second shelf I used it as a barrier to keep the substrate from falling out when I open the doors. So after I assembled everything, I masking taped it all up, and I've applied all my silicone to the seams to keep it watertight and to keep anything from escaping. The silicone I use is the HA6 silicone, which is aquarium and pet safe. Next, I cut a hole for ventilation on the top, sanded down the sides, and I siliconed some mesh on the top. So this was the first problem I ran into. There was a bit of a gap between the 2 doors in the front, but this was an easy fix. I used some draft excluder, and I used the rubber ones so it should hold up against the humidity. Next in was the lights and the misting system. For the lights, it's the Jungle Dawn by Arcadia, great LED light, and just a cheap Amazon misting system. And here's a quick test run. Next, I was kind of planning out on what way I want to put the cork bark and these little tubs for some plants. So once I was happy with the layout, I applied the layer of spanning foam and I let it settle. And one of the most tedious jobs of the whole build is carving out the foam so the silicone applies to the back a lot easier. Come along with the trusted HA6 silicone and apply it to the background, and then I put my cocoa fibre onto the back. Once dry, I stand it up, and we still have some patches there where you can see some of the foam, but that's fine because we add some moss onto the back. So the moss I've been using is live sheet moss by Side Botanica. So I silicone some of the moss on, and in other places I've used some toothpicks to hold it in place. There we have it. The moss is all complete. I just need to sort out the bottom, and I'm going to go around with the scissors and trim down the moss so it's more flush, and the plants then can start growing on it. Yup. So I just trimmed back some of the moss just to tidy it up a small bit, and it actually enhanced the growth a lot on the moss. So I've added my drainage layer to it. I just used Leica balls, and I've just did a test run on the misting system. So then I added my substrate, which was an ABG mix. I've added some activated charcoal, and I topped it up then with a bit of leaf litter. So next it was time to add some more plants to the tank. And honestly, this was my favorite part. Once the plants were added, it really started to take shape, and I was just very happy with the look. So I decided after doing this build that I wanted to add a speaker mesh to the sides for some climbing plants. So I made little pockets out of the mesh so I can put in little plants as well. And here you can see I've added some bromeliads and some pomela and some ferns to the sides. So guys, that's just a quick video on how I put together that IKEA unit. It's growing in nicely. I'm really happy with it. There's a few things I would change. I would have put on the speaker mesh before I've done the spray background, just make it a bit easier for myself. I would have used different misting system. I used that cheap Amazon one, and it kind of packed itself in after maybe 2 to 3 months. It kind of just drizzles out now. Maybe the nozzles just need to be changed out. And I would just go over the silicone 100% again. I had a small leak on the back, which now seems to be fixed. I've just siliconed underneath of it. I do need to change out the substrate and just re-silicone it, but it's a small job. It's a tiny little leak, but I've learned a lot from this build, and I'm really looking forward to the next one. Thanks for watching, lads. Enjoy.